I'm Scott Allen Miller. This is the 10th of October, 2021, 10/10/21. This is the Sheep Guarding Llama vlog, and welcome to Las Piñatas, Nicaragua. This morning, still hot. Yesterday was crazy hot, super humid. That's loud. And it was just a very sweaty day yesterday. There was no getting around that. Not very enjoyable from a temperature perspective, but we had a good day. The hotel, as I said yesterday, absolutely packed. This morning we had a good 15 to 20 people in the restaurant for breakfast, which is really uncommon in general. And for a slow time of year, we're doing really well there, right? So that is awesome. Just the whole doing really well this weekend with the business. This morning, inventory stuff is going on again, so they're super busy dealing with that in the kitchen. But we started off, I walked the dogs. I did the regular, I normally go down to the police station in Ponaloya and back. It's a pretty good walk. It was nice. Came back this morning, I had to walk Paul over to Ricardo's. On the walk back is when I recorded yesterday's video, and you can kind of see that's why it's the same, right? I just came out a little bit later. I promised the girls last night that today we would get up and we would spend the day playing Nancy Drew and hanging out and having a video game day together. And so we have that set up right now. We just fired up the game and I came out to make this update before we actually start playing, because we're waiting for Yvonne to come down and join us. She's actually going to come play with us, which we have not done in a long time. So that should be a lot of fun. The girls are really looking forward to that. For breakfast this morning, though, this is the highlight. Liesel was ordering, she just felt like potatoes, so she ordered breakfast potatoes, like eggs and cheese and potatoes, as like a skillet, as we would say in the US. Here, no one says that, like that makes no sense, but that's what we think of as a skillet, and I was like, that sounds really good, I want that, but I never want to eat things like that. I want it in a burrito. That's just how I roll. So I'm like, I want the same breakfast, but put it in a burrito. They're like, you're weird, but okay. And, so they made these breakfast burritos and they were fantastic. The best Tex-Mex breakfast burritos I've ever had. We've got to add them to the menu. Absolutely amazing, so good. I ate too much, Dominica ate too much. Very excited about those. Dominica came in because she had eaten while she was working, and I was in the office with the girls and she came in because she had a little bit left over for me, and she's like, oh my gosh, is this the best burrito or what? Like, she was really excited about these burritos. So yeah, that was just fantastic. And we had some coleslaw with it because we have multiple people in the kitchen who know how to make authentic Salvadoran pupusas. So Yvonne's like, you know, they know how to make pupusas. We're like, we're totally doing that. So coming up, we are having pupusas for lunch, which pupusas are from El Salvador, not from Nicaragua. So not a lot of places here make them or know how to make them. And if you do have like a pupusa restaurant, which there is in Managua for sure, they are Salvadoran restaurants, just like they are in the United States. So in the same way, yeah, it's a bit more local. But when we lived in Texas, we lived in a Salvadoran neighborhood. Here, we live in an obviously Nicaraguan neighborhood, right? There's no Salvadorans here. So back in Texas, they're way more common because it was a Salvadoran community that we lived in. So it's a big deal. It's something we miss. It's a food that we love. And there's no restaurants in León or Chinandega that, as far as we know, do pupusas, but they're doing them especially for us for lunch. And to do an authentic pupusa, you have to have this really vinegary coleslaw. It's basically it's mostly just cabbage and carrots, and you have a tiny bit of like a vinegar on it. So it is coleslaw, but not like we think of it in the States too much. It's very much, but it's meant to go with a spicy kind of tortilla, like a thick tortilla with, you know, the filling, which in our case will be beans and garlic and probably cheese, and then you add this coleslaw with it, and often the coleslaw is full of jalapenos because it's actually a spicy slaw, and it sounds kind of weird, but I love it. It's very good. So we have that happening today. Hopefully I will get some video of that at lunch. It's looking to be an exciting day. We had a busy morning, got a lot done, played a lot of video games with the kids, and then we forgot until about 1 o'clock because I was playing video games and hanging out with the kids, and Dominica and Saeed were working on the inventory stuff at the hotel. That our plan for today was actually going with Alan and Anna into León to go to the old fortress that is there. It's been there since pirate days, and do the dark history of León tour that Saeed used to do there. So somewhere around 1 o'clock o'clock, Saeed was like, oh my gosh, we forgot we were going to do this today. I don't even know if we have a driver. So we had to go find out we had a driver. He got us, we all got ready, and we went at 3 o'clock, which we were a little bit worried about because it has been really hot the last couple days. We were just, all of us have just been sweating and sweating, but especially me. I think I was actually low on salt, and I've started taking like Pedialyte type stuff, but you know, marketed for adults or whatever, but getting electrolytes and salts into my system, and now I'm starting to sweat more again, I think, because I really think I desalinated to some degree. So I'm trying to watch that. We're starting to order more things like Gatorade. But anyway, so at 3 o'clock, we decided we were going to do it. We got picked up, got a truck driver, a van driver who came and got us, and we left from the hotel and drove into León. It takes about 40 minutes to get to the fortress because it's actually deep into León and not accessible from any main road. And we did the tour there. It was very cool. First of all, the fortress is up on a very high point in the city. So we're above the city. So we're able to see León and a huge portion of the department. You can even see the ocean from there. And absolutely gorgeous. Like the views were just amazing. We could see the little trash fires burning all throughout the valley, and all the churches rising above the trees, and like 12 volcanoes on the horizon. It was just amazing views. And then the history tour was a lot of fun. Now, all of us really tend to like history tours in general, so that was a lot of fun. It actually didn't go very far. The fortress is a single location. And we were not very well prepared for what it was actually going to be like, because we never went very far from the car. I was worried about getting really sweaty and not being able to bring the Nikon or the Lumix with me because they're not waterproof, and I was worried that it might rain and that I might sweat really hard because we had to wear jeans, or long pants at least, because the site is full of tarantulas and scorpions. That's fun. We didn't actually see any of either of those. We did see just 2 moderate spiders and several bats, and that was about it. There was actually no reason to wear jeans, and I wish I had not, but I would not wear open-toe shoes. Normally I'm in sandals like I am now. I would wear, you know, sneakers or whatever, but that's really it. But it was not that hot, so it actually worked out okay that it was decently comfortable anyway, which is amazing considering how hot it had been and that we had started at 3. There is a bit of wind up there because of how high it is, but you go down into the old prison, which is built into the fort, and so then you lose all that wind. So that's kind of the overview, but you never wander very far from the car. You could always run back to the car and like pack up a camera, grab another one or whatever. So I wish I would have brought cameras and just tried to leave them in the car. It would have made it a lot easier. I did bring the GoPro, so I have all the footage that you're seeing, but I did not bring any of the cooler cameras. But I will do this in the future and attempt to record probably the whole thing, or at least get really, really good footage with a better camera, especially once I'm able to get one that is weatherproofed. The GoPro, of course, can go underwater, so you can take it anywhere at any time, and it just doesn't matter. But the tour was very cool. We learned a lot about the history of the area going back to the pirate days and how they used to spot the pirates from this fortress, and then how the fortress was turned into a prison in the early 1900s, and all the political events that happened throughout the next 100 years. It's been obviously very traumatic, and of course there's a lot of American involvement in the area, so that comes up a lot as well. The whole thing was great. We really enjoyed it. We're looking forward to doing more things like this in the area, getting to know the area better, starting to do some of the touristy things and record them. We've now done the Flor de Caña tour. We've now done the Dark History of León tour. We're talking about doing a rum tasting separate from Flor de Caña next week, in about a week, and we'll be heading back to the United States in a little over a week, so we don't have a lot of time left to do things, but we are making plans to try to start doing more and more of this stuff, partially because we're in hospitality here in León, so it's important for us to know what there is to do in the area and have options for guests and things to tell people, but also to get things on video so we can share with all of you. Obviously this channel is only so big, but we want to start getting other channels going that are going to be able to get the word out about Nicaragua a whole lot more, and there will hopefully be some news about that in the very near future. As Well, that will be coming. That was about it. We went until it was starting to get dark. Saeed said that typically when he does this tour, he does it later in the day, but with the current situation, a lot of people do come up and use the fort at night. A lot of homeless people, I guess, so it isn't as safe as you would hope. During the day, there's no one there. It's completely safe. But at night, it may not be the best place to hang out. And he had very serious concerns doing what he normally does, which is doing rum during the tour, because Dominica is potentially allergic to scorpions. We have no idea, but she does have it run in her family, so there was concern that she would be careless. And there's a lot of stairs and stuff you have to be careful on, and that's the real concern, because Dominica is known for falling downstairs, and Dominica is known for getting drunk on rum very quickly. So a drunk Dominica on rum in a place where scorpions might kill her, that she might fall down really easily, is just a rough combination of things. So we decided to avoid that, and we didn't want to be up there in the dark. So we went for the latest that we could, that when we finished up the tour, we would get to see the sunset over the Pacific from the fortress, which was really neat. And the clouds were great. A storm was rolling in. It was very cool. And we headed back more or less in the dark. I had skipped lunch because we were trying to get up there for that. So I was a little bit hungry by the time we got back. It was time to get dinner as quickly as we could, because it was already dark and the kitchen is not open for that much longer. But we got back and there was some drama and stuff going on at the hotel, and I had to jump in and do my duty being the boss and work for most of the evening. And so I actually ended up skipping dinner as well. And then once the kitchen had closed and I was all done with dealing with stuff and doing my duty, and I think everything is fine, I then spent the evening hanging out with the kids. We played a whole bunch more of Nancy Drew, The Phantom of Venice, which is the game we started long ago and are replaying now, and trying to get through. It's one that we like a bit. It's a better Nancy Drew game, and we're enjoying it a lot, and we're sad that we weren't able to finish it the first time, so we're working on that, and played until quite late. And that was Sunday the 10th here in Las Penitas, Nicaragua.